Hi there, today I'm going to be showing you how to get into the move called Brass Sit in pole dance. This is a beautiful move on its own. I have used it for a photo shoot before and it is really pretty, but it's also a really great entrance into moves like Brass Monkey, where you don't necessarily have to invert to get into those more difficult moves. There's many different ways to get into this move, but I'm going to be showing you my top 3 favorites today. So I'm going to be showing you the most basic, simple way to get into your contact point for this move, and your contact points are going to be your knee pit, back of the knee, and the side of your thigh where your IT band is. Now this is a common mistake with this move. A lot of people try to get the pull to the back of their thigh. That won't work for this one. You'll slip right out of it. So make sure it is the side of your thigh. You'll see what I mean momentarily. Like I said, this is the most basic, simple way to get into your contact point, just to see if you can feel secure there. I don't recommend getting into this way ever because it's ugly, but it's a good way to kind of condition the feel of the move. So you're going to step your outside foot in line with the pole. Both hands are going to come up high. And from here, similar to the move Rockstar, if you've ever done a Rockstar, you're going to lift your inside leg, trying to get the back of your knee to the pole. And I'm pushing my foot into the floor with my left foot to kind of push my hips forward in front of the pole and lock that knee into place. Now I have such a good lock here that I can take off my outside hand, and you can cross your ankles for a better, more secure grip here. But that is what we want. You'll see how the pole is on the side of my thigh. If you've never tried this before, it'll probably get a little red there. That means you're doing it right. Next, I'm going to show you how to get into this from a climb, but we are going to start from the ground. So this is going to be in a bracket grip. It's going to be using your forearm. And for this one, you want to think whichever knee you're trying to hook onto the pole, it's going to be that same forearm, same side of your body that you want on the pole. So let's just say that I'm trying to hook my left knee. I'm going to use my left forearm. Right arm is going to come up nice and high. From here, we're really using our obliques. I have to get a big side crunch. This is called a sit, but I don't want you to think pole sit where you're pulling the pole into the tops of your thighs. You want to get it in your knee in an externally rotated position. So a lot of us don't have the hip flexibility to completely externally rotate like that. This side is better. This side's not that great. See that? So you'll also see, to do that, I had to push my right hip out to the side. Same thing when we're getting into it from this bracket grip. You're going to really crunch that oblique, push your hip up, think that a string is pulling that hip to the ceiling, and then try to get your knee to your head. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to pull up, I'm going to crunch and try to get my knee to my head, and then put my knee on the pole. Crunch. You'll also see my top leg is coming across the pole, touching with my thigh. I'm going to shift my hips down and cross my knees, locking it into place. One more time, I'll show you the other side. Big side crunch, and shift it down. So without getting my knee to my head, I usually slip right out. It's different for everybody, but I like to keep my knee really crunched in towards my head the entire time that I'm shifting my hips into place, because if you bring your chest up too soon, you kind of lose that contact and you'll slip out. So watch closely one more time. Knee stays towards the head as the hips come down. Once I'm locked into place, I can move my head. Now what your hips are doing is, like I said, they're staying up towards the ceiling as you crunch, and then you're going to shift your booty down and in front of the pole. So you want to make sure that your butt is on the opposite side of the pole as where your knee is. So my left knee is to the left of the pole right now. When I get into the move, I want to shift my hips down and to the right and then push them forward so I get the pole on my IT band. So I'm going to show you that again. Crunch, hips down and to the right, hips forward, and now I'm nice and tight on that IT band area. Once you feel nice and secure in that contact point, you can try this from higher up from a climb. Same concept applies. And then we're going to start working on the rest of the move. So we're going to pretend that I'm in my sit. We're gonna lower our inside hand and lower it down as if you're doing a flat line. Your top hand will then slowly come off once you feel stable in that bottom arm. And again, you can cross the ankles or you can just extend that top leg. Whatever's comfortable for you. I'm gonna go ahead and show you that full move. From a climb, crunch, lower that inside hand and release. To come out, pull back up, and you can come into a pole sit or however you'd like to get out is fine. Next, I'm going to show you how to get into this sit from a genie. This is another really good entrance for the non-inverters who are trying to get into brass monkey or one of the other moves from the brass sit without inverting. Now, if you are an inverter and you want to try it from a genie, feel free to take it up to your outside leg hang, swinging around to your genie. Otherwise, you're going to go from a climb to a jasmine to a genie. Now, if you don't know how to do that, there's many other tutorials on YouTube, I'm sure, for that move. Or I can make one, just leave a comment down below. But I'm just gonna go ahead and bypass those steps and show you from the genie how it's going to look. So I'm gonna climb up as high as I can with my short pole, and I'm gonna get into my jasmine, into my genie, and then I will break it down from there. Okay, so we're in our genie. We're gonna take the top hand below your top knee. You're gonna pull your chest in towards the pole. Try to avoid coming out like this. Keep the chest in, top leg comes off, control the descent, shift the hips down, and now you're locked into that contact point once more. Now you will travel a little bit and lose some height with that transition. If you have a short home pole like I do, it might be a little bit difficult to get into the full sit unless you invert, but you can get into that nice contact point and then take it to a studio where there's taller poles and you'll have an easier time. I'm going to go ahead and show you that one more time. This time I'm going to show you from an inversion for those of you who are inverting into this. Great job if you've made it this far. This last one is for my inverters, specifically those who are doing shoulder mount. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the same position from a shoulder mount. And with this one, you're going to want to go into a brass monkey fully before you come into this brass sit. So this is not an entrance into brass monkey, it's actually an exit out of brass monkey. So I'm going to start from my shoulder mount. So once you're in your brass monkey here, you're going to take your inside hand to the pole, push up, grab above the knee, cross the ankles, and then you're in that nice brass sit here. You can come back to your brass monkey the same way you came in. Now I'm going to go ahead and show a couple of clips of some other poses that you can do from the brass sit that are really pretty and some of my favorites. If you would like tutorials on those, feel free to leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I hope this helped and let me know what you think. See you next time.